Yo, come for me if you want. I don't care. I said what I said. Avoid that anime. What up, everybody? It's Burnsy, and today I'm gonna give you what anime to watch and what anime to avoid this busy anime season. Starting in what to watch, we're gonna go with the easiest four to pick. That's ReZero Season 3, Shangri-La Frontier Season 2, Blue Lock Season 2, and Bleach Thousand Year Blood War The Conflict. ReZero Season 3 on Crunchyroll, continuation of the first two seasons, obviously. Probably one of the best, if not the best, isekai of all time. That or Slime, maybe. Psychological thriller. It's got time travel. We got like a bit of love story. It's got kind of everything. If you haven't watched season 1 or 2, you should definitely give them both a try. Season 3, I can almost guarantee will not disappoint. Shangri-La Frontier Season 2. Season 1 actually really surprised me. I think Season 2 is going to be better. If you don't know what it's about a VR video game player who likes to play really bad video games that have glitches, and now he's moved on to what is known as the god tier game, Shangri-La Frontier. And it just was a really fun anime for the first season. Shangri-La Frontier, also on Crunchyroll. Blue Lock Season 2, Blue Lock got a ton of hype, and for good reason. It was very good. I would not consider it a full-on soccer anime if you're really into soccer or football, depending on where you are, but it was a good anime nonetheless. I'm a bit worried about season 2 after the first 2 episodes, only because of the whole like still screen voiceover animation that a lot of studios like to do, but I kind of wonder if they're just building up for the rest of the season. Blue Lock Season 2, also on Crunchyroll. And the last one of the easy ones is Bleach Thousand Year Blood War The Conflict. I believe this is the last thing they're going to put out from what everyone tells me. If you're not familiar with me or my work, I'm not a huge Bleach fan, but I know that the story is fantastic. I'm really just not a fan of the anime itself, and that's because I don't think it was done very well, but I do know that Thousand Year Blood War is done extremely well, and everyone is very happy with it. I've seen about 5 episodes of the first season. Night and day difference between the first Bleach stuff that came out and this. It's on Disney and Hulu, I believe. Now let's start out with the ones that may not be so easy, aside from this very first one. Dandadan is making a wave all over the place. It's on Netflix and Crunchyroll. It came out in the movie theater with the first 3 episodes. It has been getting a little bit of backlash from the first episode, which I can understand, but it definitely tones it down after the first episode. And Dandadan is about 2 high school students who basically find aliens and ghosts at the same time. But not only that, it occasionally hits you in the face with some like real life, real emotion, raw emotion type things. Personally, I really enjoy it. Not only that, but the OP is absolutely amazing, the animation on it and the song itself by Creepy Nuts, and I personally recommend to watch it, but do realize that the first episode might catch people off guard. Next we have Blue Box, which is a romance slash sports anime, which you don't really see too often, but the first couple episodes have been really, really good. The animation is fantastic, and even though I don't know much about badminton, I'm really enjoying the anime so far. Blue Box is on Netflix, and honestly, this might be the romance of this season, but this one is really taking me off guard. I was not expecting how good it actually is so far. Next is the Yakuza's Fiancé on Crunchyroll. I was a little bit disappointed in this because I thought that they were going to be full-grown adults and it'd be a romance, but they are 17 in the show, at least from where it's starting. Now this does seem like it's going to be a semi-romance, semi-rom-com slash also gangster bloody crazy show, but honestly the first episode was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. The animation is both good and bad. Not really sure how to explain that any better, but I feel like the colors they use really pop, but then the drawings that they're using are not the best. Check it out, you'll see what I mean. Let me know if you feel the same way. Next we have Uzumaki on Max. Junji Ito tales. So horror, suspense, thriller. The art style is almost exactly the same, which is really, really cool. Very noir type, old school thriller. Just really, really neat. I do believe this one is going to be shorter, so watching it weekly may not make as much sense as watching it at the end, but I do believe it's going to be really good, especially for the time that it's coming out. And the last 2 must-watch that I have both took me by surprise. First, we have The Negative Positive Angler on Crunchyroll, which is about fishing. And just to be perfectly honest with you, I hate fishing. I used to fish with my stepdad all the time, and he would catch everything, and I would sit there getting bit up by bugs. So I thought, no way in hell is this going to be any good. Checked out the very first episode, was completely thrown, as it was extremely good. And basically it's about a character who is sick and does not have long to live, and just happens to run into this group or a club almost of people who like to go fishing. Now that happens in a much cooler way than I described, but I didn't want to ruin anything for you. But it is definitely one to check out, and I feel like it's one that will get slept on by a lot of people. And the final must-watch anime that I have is going to be Orb: Movement of the Earth. Orb is on Netflix and is a time period anime. It is set back in the time when the church ran everything, and everyone thought that the Earth was the center of the universe. And now some astronomers are starting to figure out that that is not actually the case, and that everything revolves around the sun, which is blasphemy, and people are getting killed for saying. It looks very friendly at times, but then at other times they are literally killing people by burning them at the stake. So it is kind of a big swing there. And it does give me really big Vinland Saga vibes. It's not because of like Vikings or fighting. It's more because of how everything is animated, it being another time period, and just how bloody it gets at times. And so now to what could be the fun part, what to avoid this season. My first avoidance of the season is going to be Gun Gale Season 2 on Crunchyroll. Why? Because Gun Gale, to me, was the worst part of Sword Art Online. I checked out maybe 2 episodes of the first season, was not entertained. I didn't really understand how we went from swords and magic and that type of adventuring to now shooting at each other with guns and tanks and having bombs and all sorts of stuff. But then randomly some people do use swords, so I don't know, very weird. Was not a big fan when season 1 came out. Didn't really understand, aside from them trying to milk sword art fans, but personally just not a fan. The next one is going to be Ranma 1/2 on Netflix. So this is a comedic romance, which I normally like, but it's also an ecchi, which I'm not a big fan of. It's also a remake of an older anime, of which I tried out a few times and just could never really get into. That doesn't mean that it's not fun. I know a lot of people that really like it, but for me, it is one to avoid. Next is A Loner Life in Another World on HIDIVE, which is an isekai harem, 2 things I really wouldn't mix personally. And honestly, I'm just not really a huge harem fan anyway, or reverse harem for that matter. I know it can be done well, I'm just personally not a big fan of it. And after watching the first episode, I was kind of bored and really just thought exactly what I thought going in, which was that I was not going to be entertained. I'm sure some people will like it, but for me, it's a definite avoid. Next is Ron Kamonohashi's Forbidden Deductive, Season 2 on Crunchyroll. It's interesting because I actually thought I was really going to enjoy Season 1, and I can't really pinpoint why I stopped watching it, but I stopped watching it at about episode 3 or 4. And again, I really don't know why. It just wasn't that intriguing. It wasn't boring, but it just didn't have enough for me. And I can't really pinpoint why that is, which makes me really not want to jump back into it, because there was nothing there holding me, even though I thought there would be. Maybe I went into it thinking it was going to be good based off of the description and the trailer that I watched, and it just couldn't hold up to the expectations that I had. Or maybe it is just boring, I really don't know. It's on Crunchyroll, and I do know people who really enjoyed the first season and were very excited for Season 2. I'm just not one of them, and so I'll be avoiding it. And for my very last anime to avoid, it's going to be Dragon Ball Daima.
No, I'm mad. I'm really mad.
Yo, come for me if you want. I don't care. I said what I said. Avoid that anime. I honestly feel like this was only dropped because of dropping the video game. And I know a lot of Dragon Ball fans are excited. I'm just not one of them. And yeah, I'm actually a Dragon Ball fan. My thing is I will never watch a Dragon Ball series weekly ever again. I spent weeks out of my life waiting for Goku to throw a Kamehameha ball. Like actual weeks waiting for it. And so yeah, I'll never do that again. Now, is Daima gonna be good? Probably. Am I gonna watch it? I don't know, maybe at some point. But as for right now, I will definitely be avoiding it. I don't need it. So that's it for what to watch and what to avoid this anime season. Let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree, and also let me know if there's anything that you're going to watch that I left off the list. Anyway, if you like this video, click the like button, make sure to subscribe, and also check out some of my other videos. I have a series coming out right now for beginners or people just looking for other things to watch that's broken up by genre and gives you about 3 anime each. So check those out and enjoy this anime season. Peace.